Welcome to the Age Well Dayton podcast. During this short podcast, we will be covering a wide range of topics around how to age well in the Miami Valley and how to take advantage of all the offers, services, and opportunity that aging in Dayton can bring you. Please welcome your hosts, Donna and Terry.
Hey, Donna, look at us. We're back.
We're back, and we are on to podcast number 2.
For this year, correct?
And I am thrilled to bring the amazing Riegle Crichton to Age Well Dayton. She is, when it comes to aging well and understanding who's doing what in the community, she is a connector, an advocate, a supporter. So, Ann, welcome.
Thank you, Donna. Happy to be here.
Ann, good to meet you. This is the first
Nice
time
to
I
meet
had a
you.
chance to meet you.
Yes.
How do you two know each other?
Oh, I think our paths crossed.
Several ways, intersectionality through the years. I think you did some work at Dayton Metro Library in your fellowship, but do we
We're
also
both
know
members
each other?
of the chamber. There's times I'm like, hey, dude.
Did we know each other through SCORE? Did you also do some work with SCORE through the years?
The foundation.
Yep,
There's a number of places. What'd you call it? Intersectionality?
Intersectionality. That's a new word to describe areas where people mesh.
So Ann, she wears a lot of hats, but she's community development manager at Dayton Metro Library.
That's
But what
correct.
does that mean? It's a big fancy title, but what does that mean?
It means that I supervise a team of individuals who are subject matter experts in areas where we can help you connect with resources in the community to better develop your skills to help prepare you for whatever's next in life for you.
All right, so if I'm retired, I'm looking for some help understanding how to use Word or something like that. There's courses that you have in the library that can help people like me who are not struggling, but maybe just curious at how to use something.
Yes, we have computer classes that tell you everything from the very beginner level of how to use a mouse all the way up to how to set up a LinkedIn profile, or sometimes even things like how to use Excel to get started with a particular spreadsheet and that sort of thing. So
It's extraordinary what they're doing, and that focus of your opening question was on work and professional skills.
Yeah.
But honestly, Ann, you're like a life skills concierge. Pointing people.
Concierge is a word I use a lot, actually. Yes. We do a lot for individuals. We're sort of that concierge that's a liaison between the resources the library has to offer and the community members, our patrons who have need for those resources. And sometimes they don't even know they have need of those resources because they may not even realize they exist. So that's part of why I'm here today.
And relative to the age 60 plus crowd, there are things like you mentioned. There's a series on My Chart. I mean,
Yes.
Imagine that. You get in there, you log in, you see your doctor, you want to see your test results, and you do a class on that.
We do, and we bring in groups like we partner with groups like Kettering Health or Premier Network, other groups like Artemis Center, the YWCA, the YMCA, different community partners that are important to all the individuals in our community, a wide range of people, but especially your audience, Donna. And one of the ways that we're connecting people is because you may already be coming to the library to check out the greatest bestseller.
Right.
And this gives you the chance to meet somebody else who might be of service to you while you're there.
So what's crazy about this is when I was a kid growing up, the library was books. You went, you got a book, you did your book report, you returned it. Then they started kind of having CDs and music, right? But now you're basically a one-stop shop.
We are a one-stop shop.
For
We're the
questions
newest
that you have.
community agency in your neighborhood.
So now you're offering classes, you're doing all kinds of outreach things. Do you know that what's the kind of oddest or craziest thing you might have done, a class you might have had that, maybe it was like, wow, we did a class on book bindings or something like that.
Right. We do a lot of classes on cooking specialties that people might not expect.
Cooking's great.
Cooking.
You have a little stove and oven there? Okay.
Some of our branches have sort of a portable stove or a kitchen setup so that they can do that sort of a cooking program. Many times it's somebody like Kettering Health coming in to do that sort of program for us.
Well, that's great. So somebody just came to the door, but I hope maybe my receptionist will pick that up.
Here's real life here. You know what's really interesting? How many branches now?
I think we have 17 locations.
And I've done some workshops, both participated and presented at least, I don't know, a dozen branches.
Right.
And each one has a different specialty, a different focus, which
Yeah.
is really nice.
And are you at the main branch?
My office is at the main branch, but my team serves the whole district.
Okay.
And so a lot of the work that I was doing with Dayton Metro Libraries was at the main branch.
Yes.
And I know I'm going to call this out right from the get-go that sometimes people go downtown and they go to the main branch and they're like, oh, I don't know. I got to tell you that area going in, you park right there. It's free
Oh, I
parking.
love it, yeah.
You take the elevator right up. It's a gorgeous facility.
It really is.
There is such a welcoming ease there that I would offer that, you got to be mindful wherever you are.
Sure.
But I think you guys have thought about these things, and that's why I really enjoy hosting events downtown.
Sure. The safety of our patrons, the feeling of security and welcome for our patrons and community members coming to visit our branches, all of them, but especially Main, which is big and can be a little intimidating because it's downtown. We have free parking that's under the building. We've got plenty of security. It's well lit. And it's just a beautiful, inviting building with so many spaces where you can take advantage of those spaces and make yourself at home. And that's what we want.
So, Donna, it sounds like from your point of view, because you're kind of focused on helping folks age well in
Right.
Dayton,
Right.
this is a huge resource for those folks watching out there.
It's not only, the science tells us people who lean into learning are constantly discovering and engaged with others. It feeds longevity, it feeds health. And when you retire, it can be a bit jarring, trying to figure out, what am I doing next?
Sure.
How will I do it? You might have even gone into retirement with a plan, and it needs to be adjusted, or maybe there's some gaps you need to fill. I really love the variety of topics you're tackling.
Sure.
And the website. I can search. So, Terry, I might all of a sudden need to do video production.
Sure.
Maybe I'll go to the Huber Heights branch, or I'll be downtown
Yes.
and I'll take a class for free, and I'll be surrounded by other people that are
Yes,
exploring that
absolutely.
same venue.
So you said something interesting. It is all free. Is there anything ever charged for?
Our programs are all free.
So other than the late nickel I have to pay on a book,
We don't even have that anymore.
what the heck's going? The Dewey Decimal System, no late fees. The Seinfeld episode where Bookman, the guy.
We still use the Dewey Decimal System, but we're all on hand to help you interpret that if that's not something you have memorized.
Your childhood memories of libraries. This system
Very
has
different.
evolved.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. I'm excited to partner with the library on a series called The Changing Face of Retirement.
Sure.
And this is going to happen the third Thursday of every month at the downtown branch.
Yes.
And by the way, this is going to happen, is it in the Opportunity Center we're going to gather?
It is in the Opportunity Center.
I love the name of that. Tell us why.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a space that we have taken that was a little bit underutilized on the first floor of the library. It's right there inside the front doors, so we've got prime real estate for you to see and come and go. And it's called the Opportunity Center because we choose to believe that it's a great place to take the opportunity to learn something new, to better yourself, to advance in whatever happens to be next in life for you.
Awesome.
Wow. That's a really cool idea. The Opportunity Center.
The Opportunity Center. So what we've done is, again, third Thursday of the month, starting March 20th. And each time we gather, we're going to focus on a different element within the changing face of
Give me
retirement.
an idea. You have one lined up.
March 20th is going to focus on work and volunteerism.
So people
And-
getting out once they retire, or
This could be for people that are pre-retirement, that are thinking about what's next. It
Okay.
could be for people that have retired. Sometimes, depending on the topic, we're also touching on a lot of topics that matter to adult children who are watching their parents and want to help
Yes.
support graceful aging. Sometimes just coming in and meeting with us or others, now you can help mom and dad. Hey, did you know that there's a program down here?
Yes.
Let's explore it together.
what's funny is, that doorbell that rang is a nurse aide coming in because my father-in-law, who's 93, just moved in with us. We have no clue of how to handle all this stuff. So if there's resources like that and you're doing it at the library, I guarantee people will come for that.
There are. So here it is. Here it is, Dayton. Real world is happening all around us.
Yes.
We're trying to navigate scenarios that are not what our parents or grandparents navigated.
Right.
And we're moving into this life stage, hopefully, with health and energy and resolve, and there's different points we move through. So I see the library as almost like the town hall, the town center.
We definitely have become a community service agency
Yeah.
or location. We want to be a destination for meeting several of your needs. Absolutely. We still have those bestsellers on the shelf. If we don't have it on the shelf, we have staff who can help you find it in another location. So we're all about books still. I don't want anybody to think that books are going away. But we also have a lot of online and virtual resources that people can use from the comfort of their own home, or maybe they're traveling. Maybe you're somebody who is traveling in your retirement. You can get a Libby account through the library and check out books that you can take to listen to on your journey or to read on a device like a tablet or
Right.
whatever happens to be convenient for you.
Then do you ever do anything that's not educational? You do anything entertainment-wise?
Oh, absolutely. We have a Tiny Stacks concert, sort
What's
of along
that?
the lines of the NPR program. And we bring in musicians from the area, and they actually play their music in the stacks of our different locations. So you can come to the library and hear a concert.
Well, anybody going to, because you can look around this room, there's all kinds of instruments. Are they going to shush me?
They are not going to shush you. We're
Okay, as
much
long as I
more
don't get
open. We want the environment to be welcoming for everybody. So all of our locations have a space where you can retreat and have that quiet time if you want to study or just read. Maybe you're like me. I have teenagers at home, and I'm desperate sometimes for that quiet space that I can just call my own and not have to worry about what else is happening in the world around me. We have those spaces. I want to assure people we do. But we also have a more lively environment than libraries had 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So we won't shush you unless you really get wild and crazy.
Yeah, and maybe a little wild and crazy. I'll tell you what, with the workshop, that's it. It's about conversation. It's not one-way talking. So when we host these third Thursday sessions, March, April, and May, there'll be different themes. We'll tee up a topic, provide some insights,
Right.
and toss it into some table discussion, because actually the wisdom is not on stage, it's in the room.
Absolutely.
And we all have pieces to a larger puzzle that, so you will hopefully leave these workshops not only wiser, but connected.
Yes, more
there might
people.
be one or two other people that you reach out to, between now and the next session.
Sure.
So March 20th, we'll focus on work and volunteerism. Like, how do you do this? How do you kind of scale this in a
Right.
flexible way?
And by the way, Don, you need to plug your website because of the fact that they'll find this information on that
Correct.
website.
AgeWellDayton.com. And we have a monthly digest where this series will be featured. So again, that's free. This is the information. Half the battle, Terry, is just knowing there's so much wonderful things going on in Dayton. It's just making sure that we're getting the word out appropriately. Back to the workshop in April, we're going to look at housing and transportation as we age. Do we need the big giant house? Most people want to age in place. Okay, so what steps can we do to make that more possible,
Oh,
more
yeah.
likely? When I'm in my 90s, my transportation may look an entirely different way.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the conversations we'll have then. And actually, then in May, we're going to look at social connections and technology and how do we do this,
Yep.
both face-to-face and digitally, to stay connected, to stay engaged.
And do you find, this is just kind of a curious question for me. Do you find people of a certain age resist technology? When I was younger, that was obvious. But now as I'm getting older and I'm a technology guy, I don't resist it. Are you still finding pockets of people out there
I
resisting?
still think there are folks who are intimidated by the computer or technology. So and cell phones, we see a lot of folks come in and maybe they just want help from one of our library folks.
Oh, you'll give them help on the cell phone?
We can help you kind of make your way through, or we can point you towards a YouTube video or something that will actually walk you through the steps of adding an app to your cell phone.
Oh,
We
great.
realize that still, especially in this audience, that your kids or your grandkids, maybe they got you a laptop computer or a tablet for Christmas, and you say, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? Come to the library in most of our branches, you're going to find somebody who can walk you through how to at least get started with that.
And you know what? I think that it is becoming a myth that older people and
Yes, I agree.
technology, it's not native for us, but we've navigated quite a bit. So I feel like I'm forward-leaning in technology. With that said, I have 3 millennial sons, and there's always this little side list. Hey, Chris, come here, help.
Oh,
help
yeah.
me, show me how I do
Yes.
this.
That's right.
You know? And we could go on. In fact, first of all, I want to bring you back at some point, so we can do a part 2 on this. But right now, final words for our audience. This is the 60 plus crowd that is navigating this kind of encore stage of life. Any tips that you have to offer?
Sure. If I had a call to action for you, it would be go visit whatever your local branch is. They're in your neighborhoods. Our branches do a great job. All the locations are centered on their neighborhoods and their community, so they're going to be connected with the resources that are right around that location. Go visit. Check it out. You can get a library card for free. You just need an ID to be able to sign up. You can even do it through our website at DaytonMetroLibrary.org. And if you are interested in connecting by phone, 937-463-2665. We have an Ask Me line staffed by library folks who can answer almost any question you have about any of our library services. And we'd love to meet you.
Oh, I know the Centerville Library because I'm more familiar with that. You can call them up and ask them a question like, can you research how many people wear blue shirts in February? And they know how to pull that data
Absolutely.
Really?
for free.
We do.
Ooh.
We have access to some of the databases that we subscribe to that
Right.
you as an individual
Would
may
cost a
not.
fortune, yeah.
Yes, you may not subscribe to those yourself, but library staff are also trained in how to collate that information to make it usable and
It's amazing.
accessible
It's
that
absolutely
the
amazing.
average person doesn't have.
Now, do you have a calendar that if you send to me via email before this podcast goes out, I can kind of pop it up
Yes.
over top of us and hide us for a minute while this calendar's up?
Sure.
If you do that, I'll put it on there because I think that'd be
Okay.
fantastic to have.
Sure.
Awesome. So now you know why Anne is here and why she's doing all these wonderful things. You are the lead, the champion, the connector at Dayton Metro Library. And
Thank
we
you.
thank you, not just for today, but for all that you do in the community.
Well, thank you, Donna. You know what? In April, I'm going to be 55. So
Oh.
I'm approaching
You're
that.
coming into the pre-retiree
I
zone,
am,
right?
and starting to think about, my boys are 16. I'm starting to think about what does life look like after teenagers. So
And there is life after teenagers, right, Terry?
Oh, it gets way better.
I'll have more money, I'm hoping.
You will. Well,
Different.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah, and just one last thought. So, first of all, the call to action was wonderful. So please take a closer look at Dayton Metro Library and the website and the calendar that you're going to put up. And March 20th, these third Thursdays are 10 to 11:30. And registration is not required. Pop in, pop out, but we want you to be there and part of these conversations.
Absolutely. Well, so this has been Age Well Dayton with
Promoting happy and healthy aging.
with Donna Kasner. I'm Terry O'Brien, and thank you, Ann, from the library.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. And thank you, Donna. Always a pleasure to be with you.
And we'll see you all real soon. Thanks.